Good morning, the spokesperson of the force, to highlight the activities and to introduce the generals that are here. Colonel Dale, you're welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to this press conference, which is going to be addressed by generals from Updf, and specifically, we are going to address ourselves to the topic on preparations for Tarehe Sita, or the birthday of Updf. And today, personally, I have no much. This is an activity that involves civil-military cooperation. It's an activity that involves the work of Joint Staff Political Commissariat. It's an activity that involves engineers and health services, what we call Joint Staff Health Services. We are not having the representative of Joint Staff Health Services. You will find us. But the key person in all of this who leads us is the Joint Staff Political Commissariat. And therefore, I have an honor to introduce to you Major General Henry Masuko, the Joint Staff Political Commissariat, who is going to give us the full package. Together with him, he is accompanied by the Joint Staff Civil Engineers, Brigadier General Bekunda, who has accompanied the Joint Staff Political Commissariat for any clarifications in terms of. Thank you, and I now take the opportunity to invite the Joint Staff Political Commissariat, Major General Henry Masuko, to address us. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, members of the press. The Joint Staff Engineers, Civil Engineering, the Deputy Defense Public Information, and all of you, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am Major General Henry Masuko, the Joint Staff Political Commissariat, and I happen also to represent UPDF in the 11th Parliament. Friends, we are here today to give you highlights of a week we are going to commence tomorrow, the 29th of January 2025, called the Defense Forces Week, that always characterizes celebrating the birth of UPDF as a people's force. This particular anniversary is the 44th Tarehe Sita anniversary. I will straight away tell members of the press and the nation at large that the 6th of February since 1981 has been set aside to celebrate the founding of the People's Army. It symbolizes and recognizes all efforts of our founding fathers of what we call the People's Revolution. Revolution for freedom, for democracy, and socio-economic transformation. Every 6th of February commencing in 1981, the Army and the people of Uganda generally join hands during the Defense Forces Week to engage in activities and celebrations aimed at cementing the relationship between the two, the people and their army. It is important that a culture of remembrance ought to be entrenched to ensure that at no time should the armed personnel forget that their unflankable strategy is the support of the population. Likewise, the people also, the citizens, need to be reminded of their patriotic duty to participate in the defense of the country as provided for under Article 17, Section 2 of the Uganda Constitution on duties of the citizens. Gentlemen and ladies, the 44th Tarehe Sita anniversary this year shall be celebrated in all our units, wherever the army is deployed. However, the national focus is going to be in Greater Masaka, and here we are talking of the 9 districts and the city of Masaka. To note is that the climax on 6th February, we shall have the national celebrations in Chotera district, in the Kakuto constituency, at the township of Kasasa. The choice of Greater Masaka is consistent with the consideration we've been making in the last 3 anniversaries to particularly trace not only the footprints of the National Resistance Army, but rather recognizing that there were earlier efforts of all those who have fought for freedom and democracy. The contribution of FRONASA is recognized, and for the case of Masaka, we have another wing of the liberators, which was called Chikosi Marum. It's the one that traversed the Masaka axis during the struggle to defeat Idi Amin Dada. Similarly, there is consideration of the Pan-Africanist angle to the struggles in Uganda. In the struggle to defeat Idi Amin, Ugandans received immense support from the people of the United Republic of Tanzania, particularly Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, singularly supporting the liberation efforts, and by celebrating in the Masaka area, which neighbors Tanzania, we recognize that historic contribution. And it's for this reason that I am announcing the theme of this year's celebration, and I quote, "Celebrating Pan-African solidarity and people's sacrifice in the struggle for freedom, democracy, and socio-economic transformation." In celebrating this year, Tarehe Sita, we take note and recollect that on 5th January 1981, a group of gallant sons of Uganda, led by none other than the leader today, General retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, set out on a mission of launching a protracted people's war. Armed with only 27 guns, they trekked through Greater Masaka, with some incidents at Katigondo, way back to Nyendo, and onward through Sembabule district. And on the dawn of 6th February 1981, Kabamba was attacked. Therefore, this demonstrates the historic importance of Masaka as a geographical area. Masaka is linked to the birth of the second phase of the armed struggle. It is worth noting the 4th Tarehe Sita anniversary, which will be celebrated in the Greater Masaka, is celebrating Pan-African solidarity and the sacrifice and the people's sacrifice in the struggle for freedom, democracy, and socio-economic transformation. We recollect that on 5th of February 1981, a group of gallant sons of Uganda, led by the leader of the revolution, retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni set out on a mission of launching a protracted people's war. Armed with only 27 guns, they trekked through Greater Masaka with important incidents at Katigondo and Nyendo, and continuing through Sembabule until the dawn attack on Kabamba Barracks on the 6th February 1981. So this shows the historic significance of Masaka as not only a geographical area, but as the gateway for the struggle for freedom of Ugandans. The final phase of the armed struggle 1985-86 saw Masaka being the launch pad of the decisive battles before the fall of Kampala on the 26th of January 1986. Chotera Mutukura through Masaka axis was used by the Chikosi Maroon Front in the anti-Amin struggle. Chikosi Maroon Front was allied to the old UPC, while Fronasa was in Greater Mbarara axis. So for 1978-79, we see Masaka as the gateway for the liberation of the country, both Chikosi Maroon supported by the Tanzania People's Defense Forces. Therefore, having national celebrations with the people of Chotera district on the D-Day is to recognize the immense sacrifices both by our Tanzanian brothers and sisters and the Wananchi along the Mutukura-Chotera axis. Tarehe Sita celebrations in Greater Masaka, as the case always, is an opportunity for UPDF to optimize our core functions, which is fostering harmony and an understanding between ourselves and the population. And in that context, each year, we as a force engage in several civil military cooperation activities of quick impact nature, by way of giving back to the people and expressing our eternal gratitude to the population for their unwavering support towards national defense. Through the civic advocacy, the UPDF plays a complementary role to other government efforts towards encouraging the people to embrace the mission of wealth creation and improving household incomes. Celebrations also, such as Tarehe Sita, gives us an opportunity as a sector to highlight what we have achieved. As a sector of defense, it's important the country gets to know what our contribution is, especially in the theme of securing Uganda's future. So as we celebrate this year, I want to share with the country people that really Uganda has largely been pacified. The whole country has continued to enjoy peace by intensification of counter-terrorism operations focused on combating terror groups like ADF and Al-Shabaab. This is an area where we need to celebrate as a sector. The Presidential Executive Order number 3 on disarmament and related security measures in Karamoja, aimed at curbing insecurity in the region through Operation Usalama kwa Wote, has qualitatively arrested insecurities in that region. It's important to note that all national borders are secure, save for pockets in the northern and western frontiers due to activities of negative armed groups in southern Sudan and eastern DRC, which have been enduring since 2021. However, UPDF has trained and equipped more personnel to counter those pockets of terror and insecurity. UPDF has a cyber security unit to detect, prevent, and curtail acts of cybercrime. The Ministry of Defense, partnering with the government like the one of India, managed to establish in Uganda a national forensic sciences university based in Jinja. Notable also, our fisheries protection unit operations have curtailed practices of illegal fishing and smuggling of immature fish that was prevalent on our major lakes. It is worth noting that Masaka, which had pockets of orchestrated violence, planned violent activities, has now considerable peace, and the region has relative calm. The Ministry of Defense and UPDF continues to make efforts in building our capability and capacity. There are many strides which have been taken in this area. In recruitment in the Army, Article 2082 of the Constitution of Uganda as amended enjoins UPDF to recruit according to district quotas based on population of each district. And continuously, the numbers have been increased to meet the national threats. The military also boasts of having now a full-fledged National Defense College, Uganda, dedicated to providing advanced military education and strategic training to high-ranking military and civilian officials. We, in areas of welfare, salary enhancement has been implemented based on pay plan targets. Over the years, partial salary enhancement has been done for various categories of UPDF personnel. The UPDF also continues to provide health services to both UPDF personnel and civilians in our areas of operation. We generally have also provided formal education to our children and also helped the surrounding communities. His Excellency and Commander-in-Chief launched a presidential support fund for the families of the UPDF personnel. And this fund is actually a model fund because in a record of less than 5 years, the fund has multiplied fivefold. They boast of now a sum of over 4 billion when they were injected in only 1 billion, and several family groups have benefited from this. On issues of being a productive force, Ministry of Defense and UPDF have procured equipment for the engineers, and the engineer is here, he will elaborate that. And this has enabled them to effectively undertake a number of MDA projects, such as the National Stadium, Mandela, the Health Infrastructure Works for Ministry of Health, and several schools for Ministry of Education. We have NEC, it also has made tremendous achievements. Therefore, it's important that we have reason to celebrate, because UPDF has really raised to its expectations. We have made significant contribution to regional peace and security. We have become of age. Over the years, UPDF's role in peacekeeping missions is unrivaled, especially our role on the African scene. In Somalia, operations in DRC, just to mention a few. Back to the activities of our celebrations this year, I want to highlight again that effectively tomorrow, the 29th January, the national launch will be held. That is launching of the Defense Forces Week, and this will be at the joint headquarters of UPDF and Ministry of Defense headquarters, Mbuya Hill. The Vice President, Her Excellency, the Vice President, is expected to preside over that function, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you, members of the press, as our allies, to help us in that launch. And we shall continue with a number of activities commencing on the 30th, when we shall launch the activities in the region, and that regional launch where all regional, the leaders from the Greater Masaka will assemble in Sembabule district in Maogola West at a township called Ntete, at Ntete Primary School. And the Right Honorable Prime Minister is expected to officiate that function on 30th, that is the day after tomorrow. On 31st, we shall have now activities launched in all districts simultaneously, and a number of cabinet ministers accompanied by generals and other high-ranking senior officers will be in attendance. My department will coordinate all mobilization activities and civic engagements, and for that effect, a team is already moving in all the districts, and this team of senior officers will later be joined by troops from one of our headquarters, from the 5th Division, to continue celebrations with the population. All districts of Masaka are going to host that contingent of troops, so I want to allay any fears to the population of Masaka. If you see heavy presence of uniformed people, know that it's according to plan. They will be there to engage in what we call civil-military cooperation activities. They will participate in Bulungi Bwansi, they will participate in cultural and sporting activities, and in some of the meetings where we shall be engaging on national matters. We intend to have a seminar for selected leaders of young people and women, leaders from the whole region. This seminar is going to take place at Sacred Heart Girls Primary School, Cham Sansara, in the Karungu district. In all, we expect close to 600 leaders who are going to have a seminar conducted by ourselves for 7 days. It's part of supporting in mentoring leadership, transformational leadership. We shall engage with the district leaders. We have teams to help the leaders get to know some of the security challenges and how they can counter them to maintain peace and stability in their areas. We shall engage with the fishing communities, because there is a lot at times of misunderstanding on why the army is deployed on the waters. So we shall be listening to the complaints of those who have not understood those operations, and the commander of the Fisheries Protection Unit will move to the communities around the lakes. It's an opportunity where also our teams are going to meet the veterans of all the struggles we've talked about, the FRONASA, the NRA veterans now, and UPDF generals who are retiring, to link with them. We shall also engage in things like environmental security, where we are going to do intensive tree planting. And on this note, I want to commend an organization called the Million Trees, who have availed us with 150,000 seedlings of fruit trees. The other activity is going to be in medical camps. Our doctors are already in the region. Every district has a team of our medical personnel. They are already in the hospitals which they have designated. And actually what was interesting is that they are there, and somehow maybe the population may not be aware that there are those now voluntary free services. So you are, those who are hearing us, who are looking at us, if you have any issue, surgical or medical, you go to the designated areas through your district leaders and receive these services. These camps are going to be running effectively from today up to the 6th of February. We shall have also public health activities. We shall have services of eyes. Those who have eye problems, they diagnose, they treat, and they issue eyeglasses. Dental services. Dental services are not cheap, but the Army is giving back, and those who have those issues visit those medical camps. The details, after we have left, we shall leave a document here for those who want to get the details. We have a plan of donating to our children in certain schools. Our Department of Formal Education has mobilized some scholastic materials, and commencing the 3rd of February, our teams will visit earmarked schools which we carefully selected to make sure our children also celebrate with their army. Ndugudeo is already there. He is working with your colleagues to ensure you people of Masaka and also elsewhere where we have deployed get engaged with our celebration, the Defense Forces Week. We have a big celebration which is being organized by our ceremonies committee on 6th, and that is going to be attended by population of the whole of Greater Masaka on 6th, and the RDCs and other district leaders in the area will make arrangements to ensure those who want to celebrate with us go to Chotera at Kasasa ground. Our female officers and ladies also use this time to link with the civilian women and young ladies, and they have their full plan. And ladies, when you see these ladies coming, they have very rich experience to share with you. Before I conclude, I will want to share what our engineers have done. And since the horse is here, you hear it from the horse's mouth. Once he finishes, I will conclude and also give you opportunity to raise any issues of clarification.
And Ugandans, as I was introduced, I'm Brigadier General Engineer Bekunda, the one in charge of all the engineers in the UPDF. As most of you are aware or might not be aware, the UPDF Engineers Brigade is a formidable force, and it is aspiring to be the largest construction company in Uganda. And as the Joint Staff Political Commissioner has said, if you have been in Nambole, those who were in there before 3 years ago, And those who have been there now, you can see what your UPDF can do. Those who have gone abroad through Entebbe International Airport, we are carrying out extensive construction works, and within a few years, Entebbe Airport will compete with the international airports you are aware of. Now, in Masaka sub-region, the districts, all of the districts identified where the UPDF can support as a way of giving back to the population, as a way of token of appreciation for the people of Masaka for supporting the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Now, from our small budget, we managed to get some money to carry out symbolic engineering projects in all these districts. A total of 29 projects in all the constituencies of Masaka are being undertaken. They include works on 15 schools, 9 health centers, and 2 markets. We are constructing a new market at Saza Market in Masaka City. There were some ladies who were trading at the roadside, and we are going to construct a new market there. These projects, we started them in December. We have been in Masaka. This is now the 2nd month, where we have constructing 24 new classrooms, because there were some schools which were identified by the districts which needed our support, and all these classrooms will support our children to improve education infrastructure in those schools. We are also carrying out sanitation in some of the schools which were identified, and also in order to improve the general hygiene in those schools. Now, all of these projects which I have mentioned now about are almost complete, and by the end of on the 5th February, we shall be handing them over. So some of you, or if all of you, should come and witness the contribution which the UPDF is giving to the population. Now, what am I requesting now? We want also in these Tarehe Sita projects or activities, other government departments could give some support in terms of money. The workforce we have, if they can give us some more money apart from what we are contributing, the impact would be very big. Otherwise, the details of those projects, you are invited during the handover of these projects on 5th February next month to see for yourselves what we have been able to complete in 1 month. Imagine building a classroom block in 1 month. Some other people take years, but for us, we have been completed these projects in 1 month, so that the beneficiaries can benefit from these symbolic projects. With those few remarks, I hand over to you, sir. Thank you.
So as we are concluding, I want to just add that these engineers' projects this time round are not being paid for by the beneficiaries. This is our gift. Normally, people, when they are celebrating their birthday, they receive gifts. But for the UPDF, it's us who are gifting the people who produced us. So these are our birthday gifts. Some of the people have been misguiding the population that, look, these people are doing a small thing, but that's really ironic, because if I am giving here a gift, you shouldn't, courtesy would demand that you thank me. What we shall do is not to give a shabby gift. We shall wrap our gifts very well. All those projects have been well built and well completed. I just want to highlight that we shall be in this Bulungi maybe as part of information. Every district we have identified areas we shall participate. Like if you are in Chotera, we shall do some work at Chotera Town Council Market, at Mutukura Town Council Market, and Karisizo Hospital and Market. In Rakai, we shall clean the market at Buyamba. We shall clean the Health Center 3 at Buyamba, and also the Catholic Parish and Muslim School at Buyamba. In Lyantonde, we shall do work in Lyantonde Town Council, Chemamba Trading Center, Buyaga Trading Center. In Rwengo, we shall be with the people of Chazanga and Chinoni, and especially the market areas. In the Karangara district, we shall do some work at Nakatiba landing site, Mabingo landing site, and Kanana landing site. That's where we found there is a lot to be done to support the population. In the Sembabule district, we shall clean into Trading Center, Matete Trading Center, Sembabule Town Council, and Rwebitaukuli Town Council. In the Bukomansimbi Bulenga Trading Center, Bukomansimbi Town Council, Kigangazi Trading Center, Kayanja Trading Center, and in Nsamvu Trading Center. Masaka district, we intend to be in Namirembe landing site, Malembo landing site, Makunze landing site, Kasaka Trading Center. Masaka City, we shall be in Nyendo Market, Masaka Regional Hospital, the Central Market of Masaka City, and Chabakuza Trading Center. In Karungu, we shall do work at Lukaya Trading Center, Chamulibwa Trading Center, Karungu Trading Center, and Rwabenge Trading Center. My appeal, the population, when we are cleaning in your markets, don't just look at us. Let's work together, and we are instilling a culture of helping ourselves. We find experience that you find people are trading in very unhygienic conditions, waiting for the authorities to be the ones. So when you are in an unhygienic condition and you fall sick, it's you who fall sick. So at times we think, let's use this time to be a little more duty-minded, not always looking on, expecting government enyambe. The other details have been put in a document, and our district teams will be publicizing this. In conclusion, the Defense Forces Week and Tarehe Sita 2025 celebrations shall commemorate UPDF at 44 years. It is worth celebrating with our people, especially those in the region of Greater Masaka, in recognition of the sacrifices made and continue to be made to consolidate the current peace, security, and stability. Masaka people made significant contribution to the successful execution of the people's struggle to liberate Uganda from dictatorship and problems of backwardness. They provided the gateway to Fronasa, Chikosi Marum, TPDF, National Resistance Army during the different phases of the armed resistance. We salute the people of Masaka for their continued support to UPDF and other security organizations to rout out anti-people forces like those who had unleashed violence through Bijambia. Their support to government strategy to achieve Uganda Vision 2040 is evidenced by their embracing wealth creation programs and the resultant bumper harvests of crops like coffee, which has enabled the Wananchi to reap big from the current coffee boom. I normally hear slogans like Mwanyi Terimba, and it is very profound in Masaka. The celebrations, therefore, offer another grand opportunity to mobilize Ugandans towards upholding values, traditions, and aspirations of the founders of Uganda's revolution that strives to attain socio-economic transformation within a Pan-Africanist framework.
If you are not privy to Tarehe Sita launches, you may get confused, but usually we have launching. This what we are doing is launching of publicity activities, and as he has told you, I will be in the field. I will be coordinating all publicity activities in the field. For you who are here, Brigadier General Felix Kulaija will be in Kampala for some time before he joins us in the field. So anything to do with the field, I will be managing while you coordinate here with the Director of Defense Public Information. The launch of Tarehe Sita activities, as he told you, we have national launch tomorrow, and you have been invited as media to cover that. And we are beginning at exactly 8:30 because we are expecting our chief guest to be there by 9 sharp. So be early enough if you are to cover the national launch at the Ministry of Defense headquarters, Mbuya. We have not done accreditation, so move with your national ID and work ID strictly. If you don't have those two, you may be turned away. Then there will be regional launch in Zimbabwe, as the General told you, on the 30th. That is a day after tomorrow at Intete. So that is another launch, the second launch. Then we go to district launches a day after that one. So you have to make sure you understand the flow of launches. Then I will go through a few things and also go to do other things. A group photo. With you.